Hey y'all. So I had this really cool download the other day, and it was rest in the resonance. Rest in the resonance. Now, that can be taken in so many, okay. For every single person, we have a specific lens that we have, and it comes from the experiences we've had. It comes from the things that have happened in our life. It comes from the things we've seen happen around us. It comes from the things we've seen on TV. It's a shaped lens that we have, okay? And as we grow and change, we start having a lens shift. And in having a lens shift, and you feel growth happening in your life, what starts to happen is more of the things that you're healing through start to resonate with you. And as that starts to happen, you could go into regret. You could go into resentment. You can go into all these feelings that come with resonance. But rest in it. And what resting in the resonance actually means is just allowing yourself to be the observer of the resonance. So for instance, I'll give you a for instance. Okay, when I had to move from Asheville to Charlotte, that was very hard for me. I love Asheville so much. I'll even bring it to the job I left. I loved my job that I had when I lived in Asheville, that I had been at for a long time. But it had gotten to a point where a resonance started happening with me that was different from me staying. And and there was a lot of different things that allowed that to be this new resonance that I felt. And instead of getting upset or, having resentment built up, what happened is I started feeling that resonant frequency, and I just observed it. I just sat with it. And what happened from that point was like me sitting with it. I sat with it because that was a good amount of time in my life I spent at a job that I loved, that I was now leaving. And once again, instead of building up resentment and feelings of being upset about it, I was able to sit with it with that resonance of needing to leave, and then having acceptance around it. And then I got confirmation around me leaving, which was an amazing thing. And was very helpful in that process. And I feel like when you rest in the resonance, it allows you to be open to those next things. Like for me, it was, something arrived on my doorstep that made it, there was no argument. Like I had made the right decision. And that felt really good. And that came to my doorstep on my 16th anniversary of sobriety. And so I was able to sit with it, but also be able to stand in my my own energy in a way where it was like I felt confident, and I felt a level of self-esteem. I felt I felt empowered in a really good way. And that motivated me to like get a job working with Lyft, you know, and I found the email to the person that ran Mission Hospital, and I wrote them an email, you know, letting them know about these trainings I do, and I never heard back from them, but that's okay. Like, I took the initiative because I rested in that resonance, and I found the next thing I wanted to do to help move with that empowerment I was feeling, you know? So rest in the resonance. Don't get upset about it. Don't feel like you did anything wrong. Don't freaking be mad at yourself. Like, allow yourself to sit with it, and then allow yourself to be open to the next things that can empower you in the steps that you have taken, and in being able to see the resonance from where you're at to the resonance of what you're feeling, and how cool that is, that you can even get from that place to the next place, you know? And so being able to just shift your understanding of what's happening will shift your whole entire perspective, versus having regrets, versus feeling like, FOMO, right? All the things that come with potentially having a resonance of something when you're recognizing it through healing and growth. Okay? So, rest in the resonance. Rest in the resonance. And this other deal, what I was going to say. Everybody's perspective of what that is can shift, right? So I see it the specific way I did, and that holds a resonance, right? But when I say rest in the resonance, if that has a different lens for you, then go with that lens, you know? And so there's different view. Everybody has their own perspective. Everybody has their own view. Everybody has the way that they're healing through things and growth. And as we experience new experiences, we learn, we change. We have information that challenges us and our beliefs. And how cool is that? Because then you move into curiosity. Maybe you don't agree with something somebody else says, but, it's, if you sit there and maybe ask a few questions to understand better, then you can kind of see how they got to where they're at, right? So it's like being able to allow those shifts to happen as you're feeling the resonant frequency. And so once the resonant comes in, then you're kind of shifting. A lot of stuff starts to shift. And, when you look back, look at, once again, it's like it reminds me of falling upwards, right? Falling upwards is about where you are looking at the front end of your life, okay? You got the whole front end of your life, up to where you're at today. Everybody's going to be in different places that are watching my videos, but think about it. So you're this whole front part of your life, And as you look at the front part of your life, or as you look at everything before, the resonant frequency you are feeling right now, look at how all of it has led you to where you are at. All of it has led you to exactly where you are at in the moment. And that's pretty trippy, dude. If you really think about it, it's trippy as shit to think about that. The resonant, and you go through so many different resonant frequencies to get to the one you're in today. But when you look back, you can look back and think and feel whatever you want to. I'm not saying like this is the only way you need to look back and feel and think and blah, blah, blah. I'm just sharing with you. If this feels like a resonance for you, take a moment and look back and see how all of it has led you here to the new resonance. New regular. The new regular too, but the new resonant frequency, right? So all of it has led, you've been through all these different frequencies through the whole front part of your life up until this moment where you hit a new resonant frequency. Now, if you feel like you're on a pretty similar resonant frequency, if you sit here in this where you're at and look back all the way up to this moment, thinking about how all of it has led you to right here, without name calling yourself, without shaming yourself, without blaming yourself, but you just look at all of it that has led to right here in this moment, then you will feel a new resonant frequency. Or be able to have acceptance with the one you're currently feeling. If it's newer to you and it feels like a lot. Especially like, okay, so when the word awakening is used, right? In my last video, I was like, I really wish more than anything I could go back to those beginning steps of it. Well, this is a deal, dude. A lot of people have already been through it, and you didn't even give yourself time to recognize that you have. You know? I just was in a place where I was, I just had the information come to me to where I was able to kind of understand it. So a lot of people go through it, but don't even realize that they have. But I feel like it's not like you're awakening and you're not awakening. Like everybody is. We all are through life, you know? But there comes a time where we get to a place in our healing where we have acceptance of everything that's led us to here. But we also see it as an opportunity to make changes or to accept that we are growing, and it is totally having us revisit our beliefs, our the way you see the world, you know? And that's all right. That can be daunting, but at the same time, it's trippy as fuck, and it's cool. It's a really cool thing. Having curiosity is cool too. Learning about healing, learning about, you know, what does it look like to stop calling myself names, or to stop being upset at myself for things that I didn't do in my past. You know, what does that look like for me to stop doing that? Because that in of itself, that very, very, very big shift that actually just takes really small practice. And that's every time you hear yourself getting up in arms with yourself, getting frustrated with yourself. You can allow yourself to shift the perspective from just complete and othering yourself. And what I mean by othering yourself is, yeah, this could happen, or the other, or, you know, I did this, but this other thing could happen, or, you know what I'm saying? So it's like consistently going back and then shifting a timeline as if it were in a different direction. So instead of doing that, instead of consistently going back and saying, oh my God, what if it went this other way? What if I went this way and then this other thing was able to happen? How about, okay, this is how it went, and there was not an other way that it could have gone, because it's already in the past and we cannot change the past. Okay? So with that very, very simple but tough realization, resting with that resonance, okay, then you get to move to this space and say, okay, so I'm here, I have my past, can't change anything from it, but from this perspective, in this resonant frequency that I can see it from, I can make other choices and decisions. Or, this is the other way I wanted to go. Or, I have options. You know, I mean, it's just, so there's so many different ways to look at possibility versus looking at obstacles, or making yourself to be like your own punching bag. Don't do that, right? Give yourself some grace. Like, you got to this resonant frequency. You're here right now. And hell yeah, be here fully. Appreciate any kind of healing work you've done, any type of wisdom that you've picked up, and knowledge that you have put into your perspective, all the different ways you have gathered information and been able to say no, been able to say yes, because you have had that authority to do so, you know? And I'm speaking because, like, I'm coming from a background, I haven't drank or used drugs in over 17 and a half years. And so I've grown up in sobriety. Like, I truly have. Like, I have processed every single bit of my life. And I've looked at my past, and I've continued to look at my past, and I've looked at how things have affected the people around me, and I've worked on myself, and I'm continuing to work on myself. But I've shared all of it. And before I got sober, everybody knew me. I was never anonymous. I was always known. My information was always known. So I haven't hidden anything. People have always known my story. I will share every bit of it with you in a heartbeat. And I'm so appreciative that people feel safe around me to do the same. And they have. Since I don't even know how long ago that was the case. You know, probably kindergarten or middle school. You know, but at the same time, it's like, that's just who I am. I am a safe space for people. And I will always be that. You know? And so, and I will always share my story. I do not have anything to hide. And that's one of the greatest gifts of growing up sober. You know, since day 120, I haven't wanted to drink. I haven't wanted to use drugs. It's the coolest shit ever. And it's because I've had an unwavering relationship with God. And the people that know me, know that. And I talk to God and I'm like, God, I need you to see me. And God's like, Hill, I see you. Do you see me? Do you see me? And I'm going to tell you the coolest way that has happened. And I already shared this, but like, I keep feeling like I'm supposed to share it. And it was like, first off, I've been getting downloads about how one of the way that we are going to create this really, really cool revolution in this country is by continuing to share love across being human, outside of religion, outside of views. And we now have a group of 24 Buddhist monks walking love into spaces, into places, through cross-system collaboration across different religions, everybody connecting for that common theme. And what's so cool is I helped create a training that I prayed to God about. And the person I wrote it with was also praying to God about it. Oh, God, I got chills. And that training was to create something to bring into faith communities to talk about how the realities of substance use disorder, and talk about how they are handling it in the faith communities. And the slide that we put in the beginning was love. It's an amazing training. And I am blown away because I think about it, because we wrote this through the state. And we had to take pauses when we were creating it due to, funding and everything, budgetary stuff. And I remember I was upset about it. And I talked to the other person that was writing the training with me. And And I was like, you know, like, this is going to have to happen. Like, we're going to have to stop. And he just had this level of peace about it, which is usually how I respond. But in this moment, I didn't have that feeling, and he did. And he was like, you know, somebody taught me. Talk about me. You know, and so with that being said, in that moment, it was like, give this the space it needs for that divine part of it. And we talked about this for a little bit on that phone call, to just be present with it. Like, if it's supposed to have a break, that's what needs to happen, and we need to trust that. And what was so cool is when everything came back online and we started meeting again and we started sharing information out into the community about this, the people we were sending information to was saying it was hitting their desk right at the right time. And I went back to him, I was like, dude, it's just it's so trippy. It's so sober trippy. I love it. But this is the kicker. Not only, so my birthday's tomorrow, my 44th birthday. Okay, and this isn't the biggest part about this. Like, the biggest part, I was actually texting with the guy I wrote this training with. And the thing is like, I was like, it's not even about the fact that the Buddhist monks are walking through Charlotte, North Carolina, where I live, on my birthday, are walking through this state, through the city I live in. Dude, God, I see you. God, I see you. And it's not even about that. It's the fact that we wrote this training with the idea that we're going to bring it into faith communities, Christian faith communities. We were talking about bringing it into the Buddhist community. Like, this is for real, that we have created this and called it Walking Love into Spaces. And we, the people that developed this and the people that have helped with it, we get to see this cool intersection with such a bigger picture of walking love into spaces. Yeah, isn't that cool, Dalo? Isn't that so cool? Dalo wanted to come say hey, everybody. Say hey, Dalo. Yeah, there's Dalo. That's my baby. So yeah, freaking cool AF. My mind's blown. I'm very grateful. Very grateful. I'm grateful for the amazing people God has put in my life. I'm grateful for when I ask God to see me, which God always sees me, but I just, every once in a while I'm like, God, see me. And God's like, no, Hillary. No, Hill. See me. See me. And I do. It's never wavered. That has never wavered. But the confirmation, it's the coolest. And the guy I wrote this training with, he gets confirmation all the time too. So it's so, like, I'm so grateful. My heart's so full. All right. So I do want to pull a card after saying all of that. Okay. So, in Divine White Light, God Light, thank you for helping me to continue to be a channel of your peace and love. I ask for protection in my space my viewer and listeners space, and the space that we are creating together. I'm going to light the sage. I'd like to invite Archangel Chamuel, Metatron, Dr. Mikhail Wasui. Oh, jeez. Into this space. Thank you. Oh my God, it smells so good, y'all. Okay, so what I want to do is pull a card, okay? Okay. We got a card. Do we got a card? Do we got a card? Do we got a card? Good card for right now. Oh my God, not that many, dude. Not that many, okay? Can't be doing all that. I really wanted to tell the story. Okay. I'm actually go through these. Okay, beautiful and caging, right? So potentially a shift, right? I was talking about the shifts happening, and resting in the resonance. So what this looks like is maybe moving out of a space where you're letting go of some of that past stuff, and you're allowing your heart to be open to the newness, right? So look at, I'll say this, look at all the edges and all this very, very beautiful light, right? And on the sides over here, once again, it's like we're seeing the different connection points, if you will. So all these connections are coming together and creating this new resonant frequency, right? And what it's doing is it's like creating a bubble, it's like a bubble of light around your heart. So it's like allowing a bubble of love around your heart, so it's not closed anymore. It's not able to be closed anymore. It's not able to be shut off anymore from new experiences. Okay. Oh my God, and I love this one, right? So this is feeling movement, feeling the movement, right? So the movement within the new experiences, and feeling it from the ground, right? Like it's feeling it from a very balanced place, right? And so that's how potentially you're already resting in this resonance, allowing yourself to rest in this resonance, being fully on the ground and even enjoying it. Look, like even in this place, like you even got one leg over the other, right? And it's like, oh, I mean, like, dang, I even got this, let me even look at this from this perspective. you know, or I'm dancing. That could be dancing. It could be getting ready to twist around and into, you know, circles. I mean, this could be interpreted in so many different ways. But what I would like to come back to is, you see all that light and all of this right here coming up and making that bubble around so that space no longer closes to new experiences. Same thing. It's all part of the grounding. It's all because you've been grounding. You've been resting in that resonance. You've already been seeing this. And, you know, and even once again, I think it comes back to, you're seeing it as like, it's like when you look at say you go to like an art show, right? You're going to an art show and you're looking at pieces that you absolutely love. And you've never seen these pieces before, right? You've never seen them before. But you love the artist and you love the work. That's what I see back here. So as this is happening, as the heart's opening, as you're balancing, you're grounding, you're maybe twirling or just able to have free movement. Like, you're grateful about it, right? And so it's like seeing a piece of art that you love. It's that feeling. It's not really seeing a piece of art, or maybe it is. But it's having that feeling like, oh my God, I see a whole world that I feel like I'm able to experience. I'm able to understand from these new experiences I'm having. And so it's creating a new resonant frequency. So you're hearing things differently. You're able to when your perception is shifting, it can be like, I can understand, I can get it, I have curiosity, I wanna know more. Like, you're just hearing things a little bit differently. And it's creating a whole new song. And you love it. It's like this artwork, right? The piece is like mind-blowing. It's like, holy heck. And it's the same with the frequency. It's shifting the way you're hearing things. And it's shifting the way you respond to it. So you're sitting with the resonant frequency, able to respond to it or just pay attention. And then you get to choose how you want to respond. You're starting to recognize your worth, your value. All these things come with that. And then you feel like you're in uncharted territory, which this card is so cool, right? And, you know, and I've spoken to this card in different ways, but I think more so than anything, water represents emotion. And through feeling your emotion, through the heart, through the hearing things a little bit different, through seeing that thing that looks like brand new art that is just blowing your mind, right, in this very balanced way, you're now navigating a very natural path for you. Like, the resonance is really, really, it's hitting. The resonance is hitting with all the emotions. So you're finding balance in the emotions versus them being all over the place, right? And it's giving you direction to be able to feel it, right? And so you got the boat up there as well. And I feel like the boat is kind of like this opportunity. You know, boats are made from wood. They're made from something natural. And so I think it comes back to how you're navigating all these emotions. And you can just hop in the boat, which is your natural self, right? Because all this is your emotions. So you just hop in that boat and it helps you to ride the emotions, right? Ride the emotions, the waves of emotion. And this is what's so cool. This is also happening. So through all of that, through the uncharted territory, this is what you're getting. It's the key to universal love. You're tapping into that. Dude, universal love is the coolest thing ever. And the reason why I say that is, by God, it helps you get into your curiosity. It helps you to be more understanding. It helps you to find more love in your communication. It allows you to take a step back. It allows you not to be as reactive. It allows you to be open to things that maybe you weren't open to before. It allows you to see humanity. It allows you to see peace in humanity. It allows you to see flow. It allows you to see where you were missing flow. It allows you to see how you showed up in universal flow. It allows you to see a new perspective. This is really, really cool, because when you are balancing your emotions, right? We start with the root chakra. The root chakra is measured in your feet and in your legs, in your thighs, in your knees, okay? And it's the color red. So if you think about the color red, if you eat beets, if you do these things with intention, what you'll feel is a groundedness, right? And so that is measured, but it is located in your seat, so underneath your pelvic area. And then in your pelvic area, that's your sacral. That's orange, okay? And your sacral is going to be where your creativity is, your sensuality, your sexuality. Are you desirable, right? Do you have creative blocks? All of that's right there. And then you move into your solar plexus. If you struggle with addiction, this is going to be off a little bit. This is about your confidence, your self-esteem, right? It's the color yellow. And then you move from that into your heart. Your heart is the color green. Leafy greens will help. Bananas will help the solar plexus. Lemons will help the solar plexus. And then you move into your leafy greens. Any type of green food is great. Matcha is good. So anything that feels good to your heart, right, can help to bring balance there. Then you got your throat. How am I speaking to you? How am I speaking to me? You know? And that's blueberries are great for your throat. And that's measured right here, right? And then you got your third eye. That's your intuition. Are you trusting your intuition? You know? Are you ignoring it? Do you get headaches all the time? Like, there's different ways to be able to know if you're trusting your intuition. And then the top is the crown. That is our connection to everything else. And that's what I was moving into this. So all of this leads to full balance. And then that connection to your crown to everything else. So when you are an individual that is balanced and healed, right? And you're working with both sides of who you are, where it's like you got this rigidness, you got this free flow, and so you potentially have this rigidness, and then you allow flexibility, and so both go hand in hand. And as you're doing that, that balances your system, right? So it moves all the way up the body, and it actually moves back down. So root to rise, rise to root. It goes both ways. But as we move up, right, it's creating this connection to everything else. Sacred reverence. Reverence? resonance, and reverence, sacred resonance and reverence to your connection to everything else. It's the coolest thing ever. I feel that. I feel that with what I just shared with you about the Buddhist monks and how they're walking through Charlotte on my birthday. And that's not even the biggest deal and part of it. The biggest part of it is this training that we created called Walking Love into Spaces. And that's literally what it does. That is literally what the Buddhist monks are doing. Creates this. Because the direction behind us creating it was to help our community. Yeah. Coolest ever. Once again, look through all of these. Through all of these, you see that light, and you see the connections, and you see the star, you see the key. So this key also goes with this, right? How cool is that? So as you recognize this happens more and more. And that light, blot out, right? And into me I see. Look at that. And that's intimacy. So, right? That's what I just got. Intimacy. So intimacy is so cool, and that's loving yourself. That's loving yourself. It's knowing your potential. It's knowing what you deserve, right? Like, it's looking at all these things, because as you move through all of this, as you're hearing things differently, as you're navigating your emotions, you're finding direction on the natural path, which is like a boat that helps you to ride the emotions, the sacred reverence and resonance, the uncaging, the balance and grounding. That's how it's happening. I just rhymed there. Intimacy. Intimacy is created when you have healthy boundaries, right? When you have healthy boundaries, you actually create greater intimacy. When you lack boundaries, it actually drives a wedge in between real, mature intimacy, right? And so it's so important to be able to exercise your boundaries, understand your boundaries, because it really does create this cool level of intimacy within your relationships. I remember learning that. I can't remember if it was, I was in supervision. Yep, back in 2014. And just having conversations about that. When I worked at a sober living, and I was working with clients, obviously, and we started talking about that, seeing them start to build these relationships around boundaries. And by doing so, it was creating these healthy relationships, healthy levels of intimacy. Now, intimacy doesn't always have to mean like a sexual relationship or in a romantic relationship. It is a level of connection within your relationships, all of them. So as you start to work on those or start recognizing where they're lacking, you start seeing this, because boundaries is a reflection of you being able to be supportive to yourself, be able to share for what you need, be able to say when it's something that you do not have, right? And that's how you create boundaries. Hey, that doesn't work for me. And that's just how that is, right? And then holding to it, you know? Or being able to listen to somebody else's boundaries and respect that. And when you respect somebody else's boundaries, they feel this. They feel seen. They feel incredibly seen. So once again, how cool is that? All the lights. And this could also be that you feel that your angels around, your guides. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with you having those around you, or recognizing them, or knowing they're around you. Don't ignore it. It's okay. It's all right. That's a very cool thing. And you are deserving of having your angels be present and to delight in their being with you. There's nothing wrong with that. I think we're kind of taught, like, you know, just a level of like, it's not okay almost. It's not okay. It's not okay for the angels to speak to you. It's not okay for you to have these experiences. Like, and I feel like sometimes that comes a lot from fear, and that's okay. But it's all right. I'm here to tell you it's okay to feel that. It's okay to have that. And it's a really cool thing. That means you've done work on yourself. That means that you've taken the time to recognize these amazing things that happen. And it's through this. It's through this. You recognize it. And it creates a level of intimacy between you and the world around you. For sure. Gotta get that strongly. Okay. The rose kiss. And you know, it's so cool because you got nature, you got ladybugs, you got birds, you know, natural process, pollination, you know, moving through the world very naturally with love. Once again, here it is, the stars. You see the lines, the connections. It's all leading to love. It's all leading to the nature of love. Like that beautiful rose. What else? The key. You can't write this. Look at this. The very last one. That's a key. That's a key. That's a key. So we start here. We go here. And this one, what does that represent? Let's see, a chess piece. You see, so the deal with this and what I see is you recognize life is not chess. Life is not chess. That's what you recognize. Life is a lot of strategic moments of light coming together in a structured way. And when you have this shift in perspective, where you recognize the connection to everything else, it's not a game. It's not a game. It's a gift. It has nothing, look, like this chess piece flying away, because it has nothing to do with the game. It's very real, it's very structured, and what you end up unlocking is, in this powerful move, it's recognizing that life is not a game of chess. It may be more so than that. You know how chess is very strategic. You know, it's a game of strategy. But I think what this is actually saying is, when you unlock that, everything opens up. There is no game. It's more vast than that. Maybe it's more vast than this structured way of thinking about it. And so all of this leads to no longer seeing life as a game of chess. It's greater than that. That chess piece is flying away. Look at all that light behind it. As soon as that key turns, there's no way it could be a game of chess. It's too cool for all that. All right. Peace.